I wanted to make a video of tips and tricks in SportsCode that on their own don't warrant a full tutorial video, but are interesting nonetheless. So the first one I'm going to start with is a scripting technique called resetting. So I've got two toggle buttons here and a button to the right that will change the appearance when either one of these buttons is pressed. So blue equals blue, red equals red. However, if I deselect either one of these toggle buttons, this button to the right is going to remain the appearance wise from the last button that was pressed. So blue and I deselect, it's going to stay blue. I click red and deselect, it's going to stay red. So there's a way to circumnavigate this to put it into a neutral setting or a neutral state. So I've got if button red equals 1, if it's pressed down, rename red. If blue is pressed down, rename blue. If red is pushed down, color it red. If blue is pushed down, color it blue. That's simple enough. However, to this top line of script, and it has to be the top line, and I'll explain soon, I'm going to put rename neutral. And here I'm going to put button color gray. So now when I click report mode and I go red and blue, when I deselect, it's going to go to gray. Red, deselect, it's going to go to gray. So the reason it's going to be in the first line of script is that scripting like a book reads downwards. So if I have if button red equals 1, button color red, and then button color gray if it's not pushed down, and then button blue if it's pushed down, color it blue, it's going to read downwards. So if button red is not pushed down, it's going to read the blue because it's the second line of script. However, if blue's not pushed down, it's going to revert back to the first line of script and color it gray. The second thing I would like to talk about is that forward slashes cancel any following script. So for example, here I've got my button. We come into the button. I've got 2 forward slashes, then following that I have rename O'Connell codes, then 2 forward slashes, button color orange. Now if I come into here and press execute, that script is not going to activate, it's just going to stay the same because to the button there is no script there at all. However, if I remove these 2 slashes and then press execute, it's going to have the desired effect and the script is then going to execute. However, this is not what I use forward slashes for the most. I use them for essentially organization. So if I come into my main basketball output window, and this is one of the scripting for my catch and shoot chart, you can see here that I've got a variable section of 2 forward slashes and then variables, just basically to organize that section. 2 forward slashes, then the player information, slashes, then the team information, things that I want to show, the movie section, and then the colors section. So I use that so if I come into the scripting afterwards and want to organize something or find something quickly, that's the most efficient way of doing so because I know where everything is straight away due to those forward slashes and everything being categorized afterwards. The third thing is related to the timeline. If you open a timeline in the old SportsCode and right click an instance and open up that label tree, you can quickly select and deselect labels by pressing the command key. So this is good if you make an error and quickly want to fix it. Just press the command key on the keyboard and you can select and deselect labels with ease more efficiently, and it's quicker than like opening up the label tree, finding where you made a mistake and then clicking it and then having to open up and recorrect the mistake. The fourth thing that I want to talk about is more of a PSA. If you go to hudl.com/sportscode-toolkit, Hudl actually provides a really good resource for things like buttons, scripts and graphs, fields of play, and backgrounds. So if we click buttons, they give you a whole bunch of different colors for different shaped and sized buttons, such as circles, oblongs, squares, triangles, rectangles, as well as buttons that have shadowed features or chrome features. You go to scripts and graphs. They've got templates for donuts and horizontal bar graphs. Fields of play, they've just got about every sort of sport under the sun. So you've got AFL, basketball, field hockey, even women's lacrosse, rugby league, rugby union, volleyball, tennis, everything under the sun. Backgrounds, we've got dark backgrounds and light backgrounds. So this is a really good resource if you're looking for any of those things that I just mentioned, as well as something that you can look around and download and use at your own pleasure. The last thing I'd like to talk about is counting labels in scripting. So I've got a timeline below here with 4 instances in the row Rams offense. And if we come into the sorter, you can see there are 7 missed 2s in the group shot result. Now this happens quite often in basketball where you might miss a shot, get the rebound, and then miss another shot. When that happens, obviously in your scripting, you'd like to count 7 missed shots. However, in my output window, I've only got 4. Now in my scripting, I've got show count miss 2, where row equals Rams offense, and that's what the inserts example script would like you to put. However, in that case, it's just counting for each instance where there's a missed 2. It doesn't count how many missed 2s are in each instance, it's just counting the amount of instances where that shows up. So to correct this, we put show count label, miss 2 where row equals Rams offense, and when I press execute, I get that correct 7 number. Now the reason for that being is now it's counting for every label miss 2 where in that row Rams offense. So it doesn't matter if it shows up twice, 3 times, it's just going to count every time it finds it in those instances in Rams offense. So now we've got 7 instead of 4, and the correct stat for our team.